We start from this one mountain or this one?
Whichever you like.
This one mountain is Mount Kanchenjunga, 8,585 meters high, world third highest mountain in the world. And this one is Mount Makalu, 8,500 meters, is fourth highest mountain in the world.
Thank you. So just coming down the valley from the Lumba Sumba pass. Last night we camped, I don't know, probably at about 4,500, 600 meters on the way down from the pass. It's a beautiful day today, as it was yesterday. And yesterday was amazing up on the Lumba Sumba pass. You know, in one direction you could see Kanchenjunga and in the other Makalu. And yeah, it was a real struggle getting up there. Felt pretty tired, and it was a very long day coming down the other side. Bit of hairy path here or there, but yes, so great to have gotten across that pass. And now we're heading towards the small and isolated village of Tudam, which should be quite interesting as well. So just in the village of Tudam, which is across the other side of the Lumba Sumba Pass. It's a very isolated village, quite close to the Tibetan border, and in fact I think they have more in common with the Tibetans than the Nepalese. They trade firewood here, I believe, and yaks across the border, and it's very out of the way and it's pretty remote. But it's a very pretty village, especially when you can see Makalu in the background and the yaks and the sunshine on it as there is now. So yeah, very nice to be in Tudam, and now we're going to be descending back down the valley for the next week or 10 days or so. So just walking down the hill towards the Arun River, which will then cross and climb up to the village of Chimtang. Yesterday we left Tudam, and it was a pretty tough day, one of the toughest days of the trek actually. After going down the valley a bit, the trail goes up the side of the valley with steep ascents and descents, and then very narrow paths along the edges of a sort of rocky valley. Very tiring and one of the longer days, but also quite stunning. We got a great view of Makalu at one point going down, and in the end last night we stayed at what's called a yak casa, which is basically a yak camping ground. I camped out with the family. They made us a very nice dinner, and we were surrounded by yaks all night in the campsite. So it's been 5 or 6 nights of camping, so looking forward to staying in a tea house tonight in Kanchenjunga, the relative luxury of a tea house versus camping. So I'm just at the very nice village of Chimitang. Feels like civilization after 5 days of camping up in the mountains. People here are really friendly, and it's kind of warm. There's flowers around the houses. The houses are nice. I think they've got good food here. Looking forward to a good dal bhat. So yeah, really nice to be here. The last 5 nights have been camping, and I think it's also, in the last 2 days have been quite difficult walking, long days and sort of steep and dangerous. So I think, and maybe we're all just slightly getting a bit tired on each other's nerves. So it's great to be in this village, which is so nice, warm, friendly, and the hotel bed is still hard as a rock, and very basic, but beats camping at the moment. So looking forward to maybe a little bit of tongba and a dal bhat, and then another day slightly, hopefully easier walking tomorrow. So just in the village of Lingam, which is really only 1 hour's walk from Chamtang, we decided to have a bit of a rest day, take it easy. And Lingam is also a really beautiful little village down in the Arun Valley. Beautiful, but it's not quiet here. There's a lot of politicians in town, and also quite a few engineers, because as it turns out they're considering putting a dam in the upper Arun Valley, which is where we are, a big 450 megawatt dam. So quite a few people doing tests for that. It's still 7 or 8 years away from being done if it does happen, but interesting to see that they're working on that. But there's also been quite a lot of politicians in town, and various important people, some of which we ended up meeting, and in the grounds of the tea house that we're staying at, it seems like the politicians were all gathering and staying there. So even though today's supposed to have been a rest day, it seems to be quite busy around Lingam. So just in the village of Hacha, which is kind of in the bend in the Arun River. Now we're about to head south towards the road head. It's a very nice village, kind of compact, and probably one of the larger ones we've been in. Yesterday was quite a long day, coming down from Lingam to Hacha. I guess along the edge of the ridge, nothing too steep, but some fairly long drop-offs, and just getting into the warmer climate now. There's cardamom plantations and various things like that.
Lumba Sumba